Bah, 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 bah. We are back, everybody. Sorry for the dramatic singing. It's February AGE. I'm Colin. This is Sam.
Hey, how you doing?
Coming in semifinals. What do we got for you?
What do you think we got? We got more Teklo.
We got more Teklovossen. You asked for it. It's Dromai. I heard it's a bad matchup, but we're putting it on anyways. Hopefully.
I don't think either side of the bracket has like incredible matchups, like a super 50-50 even. We've got a really defensive fatigue Bravo into a pretty classic Dory build. I think they might also have a decimator, but that's not.
He does do decimator.
Yeah, so that's something.
It's something.
That's something. But as we saw, Charles is running every single copy staunch response he can. So we'll see how that goes for the Dory player.
13 copies. What the?
But hey, Teklovossen into Dromai. We saw this Teklovossen pull off a miracle in the last game against Colin on Kasai, which means let's take a look at the miracle run, folks. Teklovossen is in the semifinals. Connor Davenport versus Grant Strom, I believe, a newer player, unless I'm getting my players confused.
I think newer player out of San Diego.
Yep.
Coming up here, having a great time, playing Dromai, relatively newer hero herself.
Really?
New to the scene.
Yeah, is that true?
Flashy dragon lady versus, just some dude in a sports coat who might turn into a robot. Let's find out if he does.
Yeah, he certainly did last game to great success.
Ooh, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy. If you did not watch that, go back and watch that. Or maybe skip the first half and then see what happens, because you can guess what happens in the first half. Teklo blocks a lot.
Listen, they had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
That's true. We're watching Colin, young Colin over there, doing his best to try to end that game as quick as possible. Unfortunately, didn't work out that way. Oh my God, we're being censored. What's going on here? Don't even do it. We're going to watch all your moves. There he is, giving us the thumbs up. Grant Strom, so excited to be here. Shout out to this guy. He's got good vibes. Got Leon Castle in the back over on Dory versus the national champ himself, Charles Dunn, on the right there. Just a heavy-hitting table.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anytime you have a table with a national champion at your AG Open, you know people are throwing down. People are here to kick butt, take names. And Charles Dunn sneaking in as the 8th seed, but now has a pretty nice looking bracket there. So we're going to see if anyone can take down the champ. Connor Davenport would be certainly licking his chops as a Teklovossen player if he gets to play into a fatigue Bravo. But the question is, can he get through the Draconic Illusionist to get there? Gonna have to take some pretty good early turns from Connor. We can't see him get too far behind, because once those dragons come out, they're gonna be tough to stop.
He does got poppers though, right?
Oh, he do got poppers.
He do got poppers. So that's a thing. Also, just shout out to Leon's beard. Majestic. Love it. Bringing that good beard energy, which I'm just excited about at 9 o'clock on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
1 week before Valentine's Day.
Not even a week.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. If you don't celebrate, that's fine. You don't have to. Just know that you are loved by us here at AGE. Especially if you like and subscribe.
Hey.
This is on YouTube.
This is the semifinals of the February AGE Open Series here in Los Angeles, California. We've got Teklovossen, Esteemed Magnate versus Dromai Ash Artist. Connor Davenport, your 7th seed, versus Grant Strom, your 6th seed. It's about to go down, folks. Let's see if the Teklovossen can continue the improbable and move on to the finals, or if the Draconic Illusionist will stand in his way and go on to meet either Dorinthia or Bravo on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, we should tell them to demand that the guys in the back raise their hands in victory so we know who wins in real time. Someone tell them.
Okay.
Justin, can you hear me?
I'm on
you out there? Justin.
And take a look at this. It's the Teklo pistol for Connor Davenport. You know what that means?
Ooh.
He's looking to establish one of the 2 induction chambers that he has in his list because he's trying to clear some dragons. That's going to be the only way he's going to have a real hope in this game, folks. Plus, the Achilles Accelerator, probably another way he's hoping to clear dragons. So what does this tell you? It tells you that Connor has definitely put a good deal of thought into the matchup. He's not considering it just something that like is a foregone conclusion. He knows what he wants to do in order to try to win this game. And look, he finds the Purifier on the first turn of the game.
Of course he does. This is Flesh and Blood.
Okay, but look at that. It's going to be a Tome
Oh,
of
and he's got
Imperial
the
Flame.
tome turn one. This is just turn 0, turn 1, just dreamland that we're living in over here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have the Achilles Accelerator. He's going to have Arcane Barrier if he needed, but this is going to be a big turn from Grant on this first turn. Going to draw 2 cards, going to pitch 2 to the Tome of Imperial Flame, going to turn on the Flame skill for the rest of the turn. But if Connor is able to keep that Plasma Purifier, that might be, a good start in order to try to stay alive here.
So does that mean he can't transform?
No, he will. No,
he
yes, he cannot become the Mecropot in this game
Yeah,
because
there's no card that lets you just put on a base at some point, right? Yeah, no, I don't think so. So yeah, he might be just looking to fatigue. But I guess he can still equip his armor multiple times and get full value out of doing that. Which when he has the Stevo arm or Stevo, the Evo Steel arm, Steel Soul
talk
armor.
about an altar.
The Stevo armor. It's just oh god, somebody make that. Mara's in the chat. She does altars. But yeah, so he can get a lot of value out of equipping those multiple times. Basically artificially inflating his life by X. Somebody else answer that question. Fabricate does let him put it does from his inventory, right?
Oh, yes. If you broke your Achilles Accelerator and then fabricated one of your proto base legs, which he does actually have, he has a whole set of proto base in the inventory there. So that would be a way to do it.
Nice. Thank you, chat.
2 pitch floating.
That would be interesting because, the burn them all is usually something that comes mid to late game. So at what point do you say, okay, I'm just going to start eating all of the arcane damage that he might present, and I'm going to transform my body into big Necropotent Man?
Well, look at this. So we've broken the gold. So now basically the Tome of Imperial Flame has just allowed us to break our gold, generate 2 ash, and now we're just kind of starting from scratch with a 4-card hand. However, if we just ever want to activate the Flame Scale Furnace, we're going to get a whole lot of pitch.
He has no boost cards in his deck. He can't break Achilles. Is that true? Let's see. Yeah, that might be true. Maybe. Let's find out. Shh, it's a secret.
All right, looks like we are just going to go ahead and activate the flame scale here. Looks like that's what he's potentially representing.
Normal turn, 3 cards in pitch, 3 cards in hand, bunch of ash already. And oh, look at this. Necria comes out to play.
Yeah, so that is going to be an activation of the flame scale furnace into Necria here. Big old way to continue to make lots of ash, as well as just throw a big old beater for 4 on the battlefield.
Yeah, that was. And he's got the Mirage. Wow,
what
an opening turn 0 we have over here. We got a book and 2 dragons.
This is going to be a Necria, no Phantasm, and we know that Connor doesn't have a great hand to block. Got a couple of no blocks, but does have the popper in the CNC. So the question is, if that mirror guy comes in, will it eat a CNC, or will Grant keep it back just because he's too afraid of the potential popper?
Which usually seems like something they do, especially early game. You don't need to be too greedy about it. Your Miraga is there to threaten. He's blocking 3, but no Phantasm.
Yeah, no Phantasm here. And it looks as though, Connor basically, almost representing like he has another popper by blocking with the first. So making sure that Grant doesn't do so. You go ahead and draw up as well. I think that's a Magnetic Protocol that he drew.
Yeah, he does have this induction chamber, which he'll be able to equip and do some damage to these dragons that he's got out here, which is very interesting. Interesting game plan. I'm curious, if this game goes shorter than that other game, maybe we'll talk to and Connor wins. Maybe we'll talk to him about how what his thought process going into this game was, because it seems a little scary. Especially if your main thing with Teklo is I'm gonna transform, but if that's not on the table, what do you what do you do then?
We're going to have to see exactly how Connor wants to try to execute a game plan. Can you go ahead and pitch into the pistol and then pitch 2 into the induction chamber.
Flashing out that remembrance, and I'm here for a long time, not a good time.
And we're going to go ahead and put Scrap Trader and the Remembrance on the bottom arsenal, our final card. And let's see now. Grant's got a 4-card hand, 2 dragons, and one of them stops Phantasm. He's probably going to be able to do quite a bit of damage from here.
But Connor's got poppers. Oh, and here he comes. Yenderai.
So here's the thing for Grant. Not only has he established a bunch of dragons, they're all annoying to deal with. Endurance counters, lots of health, 4 health on the Maragai.
It's looking a little bleak. But, we're just... Oh, wait, here we go. And an Uvia. Oh, boy. That sucks. That's a lot. A dragon that's going to make small dragons has a ton of health. Connor does have cards with good attack, so, he can spend it. Oh, and he's got that Singularity already in hand, and he's going to block with it, which, hey, there we go. All our hopes and dreams right there in the card.
That's going to be that for that.
We're going to fatigue, ladies and gentlemen. Pistol away. He's your favorite regular man in a business suit.
This is such a huge board for the Dromai player here. Only the second turn that he has gotten to play cards. But look, 5 dragons already. Here's a single Ashwing coming through. 1 point damage going to be taken, looks like, from Connor here. This is going to be tough for him to navigate.
Absolutely. But, Dromai is a pretty popular hero out here in the Southern California region and generally, I guess. So I have to imagine Connor has played this before. We didn't get to ask him what his thoughts on it. I should have asked Justin because he plays Dromai and has probably played against Teklo. But looking at this, I feel sad for Connor. But I don't know. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Choking on nothing.
Connor here just going to go ahead and load up the induction chamber. He's got a couple cards left in hand. One of them, I believe, is a popper that if he keeps in the hand is going to be a pretty big signal to Grant that, I do have the popper. Do have to think about that. Going to put 2 damage on the Uvia, so only 4 health remaining. Then give it the go again with the induction chamber. Put 2 more counters and then immediately come at it with that, I believe, Magnate Protocol to finish the job. So still a fair amount of dragons left and 4 cards for Grant.
Yeah, the problem with those dragons when you take your whole turn to do it is that he's probably just going to plop the same dragon down again. Oh, God. He plays another book. He's going to draw his cards. He's going to pitch 2, make more ash. He's just doing everything he wants to do to take a lot of tempo early in this game. Just making it harder and harder every turn for Connor to clear this. But Connor's got Remembrance. He's looking to play a long game. He's got a lot of blocking ability. So it's...
He has a game plan, right? He's got the chamber. He's got the Achilles. He clearly has, some plans for the matchup.
Yeah.
But...
flipping those over.
A Maragai, a Necria, an Asvalai, an Ashwing. It's not
2
looking
Yenderais.
pretty.
Yeah, this is as bad as it gets. He does have some poppers, so he can start, shortening these turns at least, which is good. It does become a question of what order these dragons come in, if it, sequencing it, of course, yeah, you're like, here, you want to take 1 damage or waste your popper on this little baby dragon. I think... Oh, yeah. He's going to block the arcane damage and then pop the Asvalai, keeping out the most annoying dragon. So, yeah, Grant may be new, but he's playing this like someone very familiar with the things he's got to do in the right order to do them effectively against his opponents. Which is how you win games. I just say those stupid things sometimes. You win games by lowering their health to 0. It's crazy.
2 damage, and then 2 damage from the induction chamber and the pistol. Going to take out the Maragai. So at least right now, if you're fans of Teklovossen, no way to stop Phantasm immediately on the board. Here's a Kyloria.
Oh, no.
Threatens to take that induction chamber immediately. The question is, do we have any Phantasm prevention? Do we have a popper? I'm not sure Connor's able to find one here. He's got to fabricate. Oh, and there's a Dromai.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. It gets worse and worse. It looks like he has several Evos. Do the Evo empowered cards, like the War Machines, those are all 6s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But not, they has like those blue liquid ones that are not.
The blues are 4s, the reds are 6s.
Yeah. So, this is just a scary board.
Yeah. This is not something you really like to look at if you're playing anything. We're going to go ahead and look at that. We're putting an Evo piece on. But unfortunately, I think that means that, we've got a card in hand that we've now drawn.
Yeah, that's an instant activation of Teklovossen's ability.
That does mean that Kyloria is looking straight at that induction chamber. And that means that's going to be pretty tough for Connor to come back from if that induction chamber is grabbed by the Kyloria.
Did he draw into a popper?
No. Yes, he would be able to place the popper in front of the Kyloria to stop the induction chamber, but then, of course, you're saying pass to you after that, leaving your opponent with Kyloria, Dromai, Necria, 2 Yenderize, and an Ashwing. 3 more damage from a Yenderai here. 3 more damage from a Yenderai here. 28, 4 more damage from the Necria. The question is, do we send the Kyloria and threaten that induction chamber? The answer is yes.
And here comes the popper.
And we found the War Machine. So it is going to go ahead and pop. However, still have an action point thanks to the Dromai.
Oof. Clearly doesn't care about his ghostly hands because
I don't think you're going to need it in this game.
Not going to need them, but they're there. And he's got a
Cadaverous Contraband off of the Flame Scale Furnace. That means we're getting another Tome of Imperial Flame back on the top of the deck. Oh, no, excuse me. Why not? I have a better idea. Just another Kyloria. Invoke Kyloria. Connor going down to 18. I mean, the writing's on the wall column. We can hem and haw all we want, but it doesn't look as though the magic has really come together here for Connor.
Actually, yeah, no, I think this is looking pretty grim. But everybody demanded to watch more Teklovossen. So are you not entertained, everyone out here? I hope so, because this game's going to end, and then it's just going to be us talking. Oh, maybe we'll bring Mr. Grant Strom in here and talk to him about how hard it was to come up with a game plan to defeat Teklovossen.
Okay. You have to be, to be fair to the esteemed Magnate, he wasn't prepared to fight, dragons made of ash that aren't even real. He's trying to quell the, uprising in his city. He's not trying to defeat, these little dragons. So he's not built for this.
Yeah, and then Dromai is like, I'll show you an uprising. I put them down as part of my job.
Yeah, you think you deal with rebels. I'll show you dealing with rebels. Gonna go ahead and pop the Dromai there. Liquid Cooled Mayhem.
Yeah, Cadaverous Contraband, great card. Love seeing it get played in a couple different decks right now. One of those ones where you're just like, this could be good. But then it blocks for 2, and you're like, maybe not. God, if he takes it is terrible and so funny when Kyloria takes mechanologist items.
So bad.
It's just like, oh God, that's rough. This is now mine. I can't use it. Although I guess he can pitch to it. He can generate ash off of it. Oh, that's not funny.
4 damage from a Ravenous... Oh, no, 2 damage from a Ravenous Rabble. Excuse me. I just assumed everything's been going so well for Grant that I just kind of assumed it was going to be a full attack for 4, but that Ashwing's going to go ahead and be stopped by another popper here, so 2 cards left in hand. All right, the board's getting a little more manageable, and now we can just take care of the Kyloria with a single pistol pop. We do have the go again, thanks to the induction chamber.
Nice. 420 viewers. We did it. 69 players.
420 viewers.
What a day for
We can retire.
all of us.
We can retire. We've done it, folks.
We've done it. Now, great turnout. Biggest turnout for us out here at AGE ever, I think, for one of our normal open series. So really excited that a lot of new players, too. Or not new to AGE and also newer players to the game. So it's really great to see growth going on there. People always having fun out here. Good vibes. Good games. We even had some pizza. Just classic.
Hey, man, it's been great. We got pizza.
Yeah, got pizza out here. We had some Portos, if you're not familiar. Great bakery out here. No guava and cheese.
Only 2 Yenderais now for... Oh, Grant, he's going to go ahead and just activate the Mage Master boots. Play out a second Passing Mirage at instant speed. So that's a second Passing Mirage. Another way to stop Phantasm, and then there's another Kyloria.
Oh my God.
So we do still have 1 block left on the memory here for Connor. So listen, hey, that board of dragons is looking certainly more manageable, but 2 Yenderais, a Kyloria, and a Passing Mirage certainly still doesn't feel good.
Not at all, because he's got to waste a whole 2 pistol shots to try to get these Yenderais, and even then, I think it takes more than that. So he's got to pistol them and hit them with a card, which doesn't feel good.
Who rake the embers here on a whole another little set of Ashwings. 3 damage. You got Kadachis for the rest of the game until these are taken care of.
Oh boy. Just when we said it was looking up.
Yeah, there's way more dragons on the field now. There's way more dragons on the field. And there's a Passing Mirage. But, again, a single blue takes care of the Kyloria and the Passing Mirage. And the Mage Master boots are gone.
Yeah, he's got to block out this Kyloria fully, though. No poppers this time. Not sure if he has is there any 4 block? No,
There are blocks. So the card that he's feathering right there, if he had more Evos, would block for 4. Right now, I believe it only blocks for 2. So 2 plus 2 will block it out thanks to the hold the line. Would be nice for Connor if the damage prevention was floating, and we are just going to go ahead and pop the Ashwing.
Yeah, no, we're not. Doesn't have the life to eat those up to wait for a stronger dragon to pop. So cutting that turn short where he can, loading up his pistol. Pew pew. Let's get rid of this Kyloria because it's gonna ruin my only game plan I have right now.
Yeah. So yes, a single blue takes care of the Kyloria, takes care of the Passing Mirage. Let's see what Grant is able to continue to string together from here.
My guess is more dragons.
Oh yeah, no, I think more dragons is a good guess. It's a very good guess. And you wanted a way to stop Phantasm. You've seen Dromai. You've seen Passing Mirage. Why not a Mirage guy for your troubles?
He's got all the tools. All the tools. No update on the other match. They're sitting there right behind him. They have not raised their hand in victory yet, which I have specifically requested that they don't know that I have, but we'll see if it happens naturally.
So this, unlike Passing Mirage, which would have stopped Phantasm on this Billowing Mirage, Mirage only cares about Dragon attack. So this is now going to be 3 damage from the Yenderai after 3 damage from the Billowing Mirage.
So, update on the Dory match is that he did go with the Decimator Great Axe, as we prophesized earlier tonight, as that seems to be his plan into Guardian generally, which I've heard he's very comfortable with. Josh was telling us earlier that he's got a plan there for that kind of matchup, but Charles is playing a incredibly fatigue forward deck, so
Without a doubt, yeah.
We'll just we'll see how it goes.
Oh my goodness, a Passing Mirage on the back of the Mirage guy. I mean, that is going to require 2 different ways to clear the Phantasm, denier on probably just 2 turns. That means Grant's going to have 2 turns of trying to just work through no Phantasm. That's great. If you're a Dromai fan, if you're a Teklovossen fan, you're rooting for the underdog, that's going to be really tough to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, Grant's at 40 health still.
Well, health doesn't matter, right? We're here to again, we're playing for a very long game if we're the Teklovossen player here. You know, health at a certain point, we've just got to be thinking about controlling the board. And we're first going to go ahead and just take care of one Aether Ashwing, load up the pistol again. Still got a card in hand.
Interesting. Looks like he's just going to send out heavy artillery at the Maragai to send him packing. I believe that's the second Maragai. We've seen two Kylorias, but it was cadavers contrabanded back. We've seen one, I think only one Chromai. Those two Yanderais have just been out there living their best life. Now, still got their endurance counters on them. Feeling good. Passing Mirage. Just going to make this. And as I said, here we go. Another Chromai on the field.
Dromai and Passing Mirage. So powerful. This is a Chromai without Phantasm, which means 2 action points for the rest of the turn. Steel Soul Controller can just go ahead and block 3. 3 damage is a whole fifth of Connor's life at this point in the game.
I'm curious what the sequence of events is that makes this matchup almost winnable for Connor. It's just Dromai has so many dragons that they can play. It just feels like. Ugh. I mean, yeah, it is a game. You gotta be patient into Dromai a lot of times. I don't have that kind of patience. I just get mad. Like, why do you have so many dragons? I want to play the game too.
All right, Liquid Cooled Mayhem is going to go ahead and pop that first Ashwing. Should. Oh, I guess. Didn't have another action point from the Chromai.
Or did he? And did he forget?
Yeah, not sure.
Because he has the dice.
Oh, that's
Close.
great. Yeah, go.
Close game for Dory versus Leon and Charles Dunn, 18 to 19. Who's got 19? Dory has 19 health. Yeah, look at that. Up tremendous.
Up tremendous on the other side of the bracket. Tome of Imperial Flame. Good card.
This is a pretty good card. I think this is his last one.
It is his last one.
So, you know.
E-Strike draw card. I missed what mood that E-Strike was. That used one of the action points on the last card. Thank you, friends.
That makes sense. And he's got Dominion in hand. Bro. Uvia's coming out to play. Bro.
Ubi, you going to go ahead and make another Ashwing here?
Oh, my God. Bro. He's going to slam this Dominion out, too, I bet. Activate Furnace? Come on.
Let's see. We're going to pitch a Kyloria away. When you're seeing your opponent pitch a Kyloria, that's like, uh-oh. That means you probably have something better to play, and it's just going to be the Dominia here. Yeah, you can see Connor can do nothing but just take a little smile there as he sees this card coming. We're going to reveal off the top. It's going to be a red. That means we're looking at the hand. We're banishing a card. We have 2 total poppers, a defense reaction, and then a blue 5 attack blue. Going to get rid of the Terminator tank, so we'll still have the War Machine. We'll still have the Fate Foreseen. We're going to put the War Machine immediately in front of the Dominia, so we do still have the popper there. Nice. We'll end the turn. Connor's going to be able to put that D-React in the arsenal. Go ahead and load up and take care of most likely both Ashwings or both endurance counters on the Yanderai. I don't know, man.
Yeah. None of his options are good.
No.
But let's find out what he does. He can't do anything about Uvia, probably.
Only one remembrance for Grant. That's something to pay attention to. We've seen 2 Passing Mirages be used.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen 1 get pitched. I think 1 or 2 Mirages, 1 or 2 Chromais have been dealt with. So Connor's, working through the Phantasm.
Yeah. He does have 3 Cadaverous Contraband, though, so he is looking to proactively recycle his cards. But doesn't... I don't know. Just doesn't seem like it's going to
It doesn't seem like it, but again, there's
You never know.
you
Yeah,
never
we can
know. I
always
can
leave that possibility
see
open.
another Dromai in the hand there. Burn them all. Burn them all could put in some serious work throughout this game as well.
I'm sorry. What was that? No.
Burn them all. Coming out. Going to go ahead and give everything go again. And 1 arcane damage on the first dragon attack with Connor at 14. That's going to start to get very pesky very quickly. Dromai here. Coming in. Dealing 3 and 1 arcane.
Chad hoping that Connor targets Grant at least once, so it's not a flawless victory. Doesn't matter. 39, 40. No, well, we're in here. Connor pulled it out last time, but that was a bit different. These dragons, they're just out here doing work, serving damage.
Is going to buy a Fate Foreseen block out of Connor. So now 2 action points for Mr. Strom.
Two action points. He's got go again on everything. And he finally gets to pop a Yender.
Yeah, that's got to feel good and pretty massive here for Connor. He gets rid of one of the most challenging dragons to deal with otherwise. 1 action point remaining. Do we have a second popper in the hand for Connor here? I'm just going to throw the second Yender Eye. I think we know it's a Fate Foreseen in the arsenal, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna just throw the Fate Foreseen down, meaning most likely don't have the popper. Ship that one to the bottom. Grant Strom sitting at a comfortable 40 at this point. Can you go ahead and pitch one? Make an Ash to the Flame Scale Furnace. Put that Invoke Themai on the bottom of the deck. All right, Connor, what do you got? You got 2 cards in hand.
What's he gonna do? Is he gonna load his pistol first or his induction chamber?
Pistol.
There we go.
Then the induction chamber. We're going to shoot Dromai. Take care of that one. Give it the go again, most likely. Let's see. Take care of the Ashwing. Take care of the endurance counter. Yeah, we're just going to pick off the Ashwing. So the dragons are starting to get dealt with, but Connor is all the way down to 12 here.
Yeah. I'm curious how many dragons Grant has gone through. It's quite a lot. And another Uvia.
Another Uvia here.
And another one.
Look at this Uvia. Uvia coming out, making another little baby Ashwing. There's 2 of them now.
Look at these guys.
Look at these guys, huh? Oh, and we got an Invoke Asvalai here. What? Our producer is just now discovering the foldable tear-out cards and looking at us with she's got a huge smile on her face as she tears the cards apart.
They are satisfying to break.
They are satisfying to break, but this is also an incredibly intricate game that I'm watching over here. I don't know why you're trying to distract me with those tiny little foldable grabs.
They're so small. They're so small like these little Ashwings.
Little Ashwing coming in, 1 arcane, 1 physical. I think we're going to go get an update on the Dorinthia game as well.
Yeah, that fatigue match might end before this one.
The 1 arcane is going to be prevented, and then we're just going to go ahead and get an immediate pop here. So Connor has kept his hand full of cards, or I guess 2 cards because we blocked the 1 arcane with the pitch. But that board has once again, talk about up tremendous. There are a tremendous amount of dragons on Grant's board once again. After it was starting to look a little more manageable, now we have 2 Uvias. Yenderai.
2 Vias.
We got 2 Vias, we got a Yenderai. We got an Aether Ashwing and an Asvalai out here. I like the idea that Dromai from New York.
She's walking here.
I keep walking here. I just make all these dragons. Just leave me alone. It's that kind of a day. It's going to be a Tekleplasma pistol. And a draw up for Connor, leaving a counter on the induction chamber. Uvia says, I'll grab a couple more of those ash wings. Thank you very much.
She's just, she's a young mom working hard and making more babies.
No. Ravenous Rebel here coming in 4-4.
Bodega Dromai. Hell yeah. That's what I want to see. That's the fan fiction I want. Bodega Dromai. Ravenous Rabble. Guess what? It's for 4. The white border, too. Man, 2 Uvias. He's got, at least he's kind of running out of ash, but he's going to keep pumping out these little baby dragons, and it's going to make this very difficult for Connor to do really anything about it. He does have a lot of poppers, but that's not exactly helping him that much. Uvia.
This is going to be an Enlightened Strike following the Ravenous Rabble here.
Like something about ash is being talked about. Excuse me, sir, is this your ash?
They're just double confirming all the ash was paid for. Connor here, desperately trying to stay alive, having to commit a popper to that Ravenous Rabble.
And then an E-strike after that. Oh my god.
Bunch of damage that isn't Phantasm, a bunch of damage that isn't Dragons.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
So we're going to have to see how Connor's able to try to stay alive and then clear these dragons. He's trying to run Grant out of threats. The question is, will he be able to do so with enough time, with enough life, to actually make the turn the corner in this game?
My guess is no. But I'm trying to stay positive.
I mean, we'll see. He's still at 11 life. I don't believe we have any ways to gain life in this Teklovossen deck, but we're trying to run through all of the, if you're Connor here, trying to run through the Chromais, run through the Miragais, and try to make sure that eventually you're going to be able to just clear these dragons with the Phantasms. Block 3 here. Now it's time for these Ashwings. These are going to be back-breaking on these turns, especially once that Burn Them All starts to become even more relevant. But another popper here going to take care of the Ashwing. Just pitch 1 into the Flamescale Furnace, make another Ash.
And he's just going to end the game with a ghostly visit.
Yeah, going to have to find a way to develop the Passing Mirage and then the ghostly touch. Looks like we're going to start banishing some cards to the Burn Them All here.
Burn them all. Let's go. All right. Oh, and I think that might be our final Moraga he just drew. Gotcha. Judge coming in, asking for clean play from our players. Make sure we're keeping track of everything. Which is hard sometimes, We've been here. I don't even remember when we got here. 12 hours ago. It's an endurance game as much as anything else when you're playing competitive flesh and blood.
Activating, we're going to go ahead and clear both Ashwings, it looked like, with the Plasma Pistol. Put counters back on. And then pass the turn from there. Connor desperately trying to run Grant out of threats. see if we can get an update on the game, the other game. We can see that the players are looking like they're laughing and they're chatting.
If everyone's just having such a good time, we can't tell who's despondent about losing.
Maragai being invoked. Not what you want to see if you're a Teklovossen fan. Another sync blow going to the bottom. Here's 3. Going to go ahead and be blocked. 1 arcane looks like that. It's going to be taken from the Burn Them All. Three blocked from the Steel Soul Tower there.
You like these boots?
And then a CNC
And
coming
then a
down as
CNC.
well.
And Charles Dunn has taken it. Taken Fatigue Bravo all the way to the finals. No one thought he could do it.
No one thought he could do it. Everyone was counting him out. No one had any expectation of the U.S. national champ taking a deck.
This young upstart coming in, throwing around new decks, new ideas, uncharted waters on new heroes. Fatigue Bravo. This will be, I mean, if Grant takes this, that will be an interesting matchup. It definitely is a skillful matchup for Dromai to take on a Guardian that's going full fatigue. You know, does he know the full Ghostly Visit plan? Does he have enough reps into that? Because you do have to really sequence things carefully so that you don't run out of cards before not dying, I guess.
Yeah. This is going to be Command & Conquer threatening the arsenal. However, the Fabricate is going to pump up the Steel Soul memory that is blocking on the chain as well. So that will quite help Connor's case of keeping some damage prevented, keeping his hat around.
It will quite help in his case of keeping damage prevented. Where are we? Where are we?
Here's the thing. Grant is getting pretty low on cards.
He's, you know.
Connor here. Don't say it's over until it's over. Connor here, again, the Burn Them All, going to be challenging for Connor to deal with. But if we just keep clearing, keep giving go again to this pistol, and hope to fatigue this Dromai, you're only at 6 life. Warmonger's Diplomacy here.
That's interesting. I bet he feels like he saw that card earlier.
So would have to play an attack action to be able to attack with the rest of the dragons on the turn now after the Warmonger's Diplomacy. So is Grant able to find one? Because a non-attack action like an Invocation, while it might turn on the hero ability, certainly won't work with the Warmongers.
I think he does have a Dust Up and a Cadaverous, but he doesn't have Go Again on
Does he
them.
have a way to give those go again?
Currently, no. But who knows? Connor over there saying, I can do fatigue all by myself. We'll see if that's true. He came out of the last one fully fatiguing Kasai, which was kind of crazy. But his deck looks pretty healthy. But his health, not so much healthy.
Absolutely.
Oh
Absolutely.
no! 4 Ashwings now.
2 Ashwings created off the back of the Uvia. And it's just going to be a Cadaverous Contraband 4/6 here. So Connor has bought himself a turn of really only having to deal with 1 attack. You don't really want to let this through. Any form of recursion is not what you want to let the Dromai player do. But there's a no block in the hand. There's a sink below. Looks like a Steel Soul of some kind. Junkyard Dog. So we do have ways to block this out. But if we want to develop that second chamber, it's going to be challenging.
Yeah, crazy. He's got that second chamber that's finally come up.
The question is it too little too late?
It's definitely going to help if he can get it out there. And this was a great turn to draw it, when he's got Grant kind of unable to present the tremendous amount of damage that he would otherwise. 4, 6, at least, 9 to 10 damage on the board without playing any of their cards.
And luckily was able to pitch 2 reds into that Cadaverous Contraband, so 2 more ash.
So he can make 2 more babies.
2 more little babies. Oh, that Now, Connor is also under Warmonger, so if he chose Peace here, he wouldn't be able to attack with the pistol. If he chose War, he's not going to be able to play that induction chamber on this turn anyway.
Yeah, that is true. Did he have the foresight to know if he was going to do something like play another induction chamber? I think he's got a blue though, so I mean, even if he's not playing the induction chamber and he still just can clear a little bit, that does help his state. But this really would have been a good turn to be able to do both, play that induction chamber. Although I guess once you play that, it is your turn is over, so it kind of gets a little hamstringed either way.
Alrighty, Connor here sitting at 6. Grant at a pretty healthy 40, I'd say.
Now this is unfair. There's 2 Connors on that side of the table now. So what does that mean? Shout out to our judge Connor holding down the 70-player tournament by himself, doing a great job.
Yep.
We're going to pew pew.
Yep, send 2 shots at the Maragai, so no current way to stop Phantasm represented on Grant's board. Did Connor draw a popper here to stop this onslaught of dragons?
Yeah, he's got a tumultide too, which in itself, its hit effect isn't that impactful currently. But, well, I guess he could take the Achilles.
You take the Achilles, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, arcane damage becomes a surefire way to end the game.
But look at all the dragons.
Yeah. But currently no Ash, so you can't target any Ash with the Tumultai on this turn so far.
Yeah. Oh, and he just...
Gonna go ahead and double block a CNC here and then pitch into the Flamescale Furnace.
He just... Okay. I guess, if he attacks with his dragons, he could get popped, but at least he would have pinged the arcane damage. That's interesting choices on that turn. I don't know.
Still has a bunch of Ash now left over. Did he put the Tumultai in the arsenal? Because if so, that is going to be a major way to potentially just close this whole game out.
Yeah.
Connor here now going to go ahead.
Just straight up beast mode. Giant dragon.
How many cards are left for both these players here?
Enough that I feel like it's not going to matter. Oh, well, he's got the remembrance, but...
Second burn them all here. That's going to be challenging.
He's got 2 induction chambers. But
And an
there are...
Asvalai. There's a lot of arcane damage that's about to be thrown Connor's way. Currently, no Phantasm prevention. So this is going to be 1 and 2 arcane from this first Aether Ashwing. This has got to be your favorite feeling if you're a Dromai player, picking up all your Ashwings, preparing to send them away. Looks like he's just maybe representing them differently with the die.
Yeah, good call. 6.
See, Remembrance in the hand. Does he have a popper? If he doesn't have a popper, I think this might be just all she wrote. Let's see. Is he Remembrance? We're going to go E-Strike.
And then he's just going to E-Strike. Wow.
E-Strike is most likely 5. Go again. 5 that's got to be dealt with. Put 5 in front of it. A 3 block and a 2 block, and then here come the Aether Ashwings. There's no popper in this hand. This is going to be all she wrote for Connor Davenport. Let's see. I mean, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then AB2, 1 card left in hand. Can you show the popper or not, Connor? 1, 2. And then, yeah, just the Steel Soul controller. Here are the rest of the dragons. The army is coming in. Connor Davenport has finally fallen. It was a close call. There are so many dragons on the field. And Grant moves on to the finals to take on Charles Dunn, the fatigue mastermind himself.
Let's go! This is going to be crazy!
You've never seen anything like this one, folks. And unfortunately, Connor did try valiantly to fatigue out the Dromai there, unable to do so. And Grant moves on to the finals on Dromai. They say Dromai can't convert Dromais into the finals. but has to take on the U.S. national champ for her troubles.
And for what, you ask? It's for this. It's the medallion. You saw Alan Lubor his earlier on stream. It is bad luck, as we've confirmed. You don't win the next one if you wear your medallion to it. But taking a look at our top 8, here we go. It's a classic tale as old as time. Bravo and his hammer against an onslaught of dragons and the nice lady who controls them.
How do you think? How you feeling looking at this final? I mean, we've seen this before. Grant is, from what we understand, a somewhat newer player, but clearly quite adept at the heroes, quite adept at this. You know, he's been playing quite well today, but he's playing into a someone who has got to know that matchup backwards and forwards in Charleston.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing into a specialist who's been playing for a while. You know, he's got some titles under his belt. You know what I'm saying? He's been there. He's done that. He's won a national championship. But can he win AGE February 2024? We're going to find out in just a minute. But yeah, I think, based on Grant's performance, he seems a little loose in keeping track of some things. And I think that's going to matter a lot more in this matchup. If he's not keeping track of his ghostly visit, if he's not really, pitch stacking and setting up to really plan an end game through the first half of this game, he might just not be able to get there, and Charleston can fatigue him and just, smash him with his hammer.
Well, certainly the people's champ, Connor Davenport, sevens. I see some in the chat for him. Our Teklovossen does fall in the semis, but what a run for him, making it all the way to the semifinals. I think we're going to take just a tiny quick break here, get a second, refresh ourselves.
Yeah, I'm going to stand up, do some jumping jacks.
Yep, as we prepare. We've had 10 rounds here. We're moving on to 10 p.m. here on the West Coast, so get on ready because we have got what's sure to be a very quick one in a Dromai versus Charles Dunn's Bravo. So why don't we take a quick break?
Take a quick break.
And we will see you in just a second for the finals